Mr. Camera, you ready?
You two have kept it together for 27 years now. 11 albums later, they're still debuting at #1 all over the world. But there's no place like home, and really, Dublin and U2 have become synonymous. So, we've traveled to Ireland's capital city to meet up with the guys, to have a little chat, and to see where it all began for U2. We are here interviewing you in your hometown. I don't know Dublin. Can I say, as somebody who had never been to Dublin before, can I hear the city in your music?
Yeah, you can. I don't think... Well, first of all, our music doesn't sound like anybody else. So, even though there's influences from, you know, all over the place, bottom line is U2 doesn't sound like any other group. So, it's likely that the city that we grew up in and the experiences that we've had are in that music.
One man come in the name of love. One man come and go.
We're in a culture here of honesty and kind of critical pointedness. You know, Dublin actually is like that anyway. You just hanging out in Dublin, people just tell you you're a f***ing idiot just for walking down the street. You know, there's places you can go in this world where you get into the taxi. This happened to me. You get into a car in Los Angeles. I was there, and this guy said, "Your new album, it's your best album. It's so beautiful." This is 3 months ago. I said, "But it's not out." He said, I said, "Have you heard?" He said, "No, I haven't heard, but I know it's going to be your best." And it's just like, that's in Dublin. You get into the taxi, you know, and somebody says, "I don't like track 5, track 7. What will you think? People say you shouldn't talk about sex, religion, or politics at the dinner table. What else is there? That's all Irish people talk about. And that's, you know, if you just, our songs, that's you know, that's our album right there.
Flaming Lips, that I recently interviewed them, and they're working on their 10th album, and they said, making an album is like having a kid, and by the time you get to your 10th, you don't have all the pressures and the expectations of the first kid. You want your first kid to do so well, but by the 10th, you're like, eh. Is that how U2 feels? Is that how you approached your 11th album, or?
We're much more dysfunctional, I think, family than the Flaming Lips by the sounds of things.
Yeah, I think the opposite is the truth. I think the first and second albums, you know, well, particularly the first album, you had the songs written, you know, went in, recorded it, it was fine. Second album was a little more difficult, you know, that second album problem. And every album since has been like the second record multiplied by 10, you know, and it gets more difficult because we're competing for different things. And we're dissatisfied with what we've done and where we've been. And, you know, it's not about success. Success is not what's important. It's about integrity. And it's about being able to stand up over your music and go, that's it.
You said one love, one life.
You're looking for something that's almost impossible. I mean, making a great film or writing a great book, or it's almost impossible to do anything that's great. And it turns out that, you know, very good can be the enemy of great. Because you get good, you get very good, you know, just by being around. That's not enough. That's why with us, we had to go back to listening to the music we listened to when we first started the band, when we were, you know, 16, 17, 18 years old. Yeah, we did. Susie and the Banshees and the Buzzcocks, and right then up to Joy Division, Echo and the Bunnymen, you know, things like that. And to try and remember, why did we want to be in a band? And that's why this feels like our first album. When you're younger, you want to rid yourself of your naivete, you know, and your innocence. But now I realize that that was so powerful. The things that we didn't know made us so strong in a way. And I think it's a very similar subject matter to our first album, Boy, which is about innocence and kind of knowing that we're about to lose it. And then this album is more about having lost it and wanting it back. There's a couplet in All Because of You. It goes, I'm alive, I'm being born, I just arrived. I'm at the door of the place I started out from. I want back inside. That's what we want as a band. We wanted back to that place that made us want to be in the band. Originally, we were going to call the album How to Build an Atomic Bomb. And then it changed it to How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb, because I thought that was maybe a much more important thing to figure out. And I had fully intended to write about what was going on in the wider world, dangerous times that we're living in, post-September 11th, all that anxiety. And then, you know, I stopped and just started writing about what was going on in my own interior world and the interior world of the people around me. In dangerous times, you tend to draw closer to people that you love and family, friends. You know, you hold them a little bit tighter. Music can melt the hardest of hearts. So I just thought that's where we're about. A feeling is so much stronger than a thought.
Still to come on the show, what does it take to satisfy U2? As well, what does it mean to them to sell out? Plus, they have some choice words for all the self-righteous purists out there.
I got a pain in my ass sometimes listening to this, you know, I want to keep it real.
It's a leftover from the 60s, which is a sort of, you know, it's your grandmother's idea that you don't hang out with corporations, you know. But hold on, we are a corporation.
Go work in a coal mine, then keep it real.